sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. You remember this time. I know how you grew up learning about this, right?
Not Black history, not really. I went to a predominantly white school. I was in the medical program, so what we learned about was very
They try to keep you away from that. So now, let me show you this. Our people, Deuteronomy 28, verse 18, we live in this condition. It's not for no reason. We had a brother come here earlier and say, well, are we a cursed people? Do you think us as black people, do you think we're cursed?
I don't think so, no. I mean, it's really, I don't think we are. I think we just need to come above all of the things that we, like, past generations and everything have gone through.
Right.
But I don't necessarily think that black people are cursed, no.
No?
No.
All right, so we're going to go into the Bible to show you something. Because look at Blue Hills. There's a lot of neighborhoods. Officer Lycan, what's that neighborhood? What's that neighborhood around here? No, Jewish. Where them fake Jews live?
Oh, Brookline.
Brookline. You ever been to Brookline?
I live in Brooklyn.
You live in Brookline.
Yeah.
But a lot of Brookline looks nice and clean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Newton, nice and clean, because the majority are the other nations that live there. So they keep it clean. But now look over here at Blue Hills. This is our people that's here. Blacks, Hispanics walking up and down for the most part. Every hood that you go to in America looks the same. Trash is everywhere. Now there's a reason why. That's not a blessing. That's a curse that we live through as a nation of people. So I'm gonna show you real quick. I know you're cold. I'm gonna show you real quick why we suffer the curses that we suffer. Read. 28 verse 15.
Yes, sir. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments.
So it shall come to pass. This is Moses teaching the people, the children of Israel. And he's telling them, it shall come to pass if we don't hearken to what the Most High God has to say, what he commands us to do. Because remember, he's our Father in heaven. The same way you have a dad, right? As growing up, your dad would give you orders on what to do. And if you didn't do them, what would happen?
I mean, my mom was the punisher.
Okay, your mom, all right, your mom was the punisher in the household. But what would happen?
I mean, something would get taken, and it would be some kind of punishment.
Punishment for disobeying what your parents say. So the Most High God, which is our Father, he treats us the same exact way. He got rules and regulations for us that we must abide by. So read.
And his statutes which I command thee this day.
What would happen if we didn't listen to the Most High God, our Father?
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All these curses, 32, all these curses would come upon us and overtake us. That's why we live the way we live. But we're here to show our people, show you, sis, what do we have to do to come out of this? What do we have to do? Because it's simple. We just have to keep his commandments. Because back in verse 1, it says if we keep the commandments, we would have been set on high above all nations of the earth. But we failed to listen. So I'm going to just show you a couple curses so you can hear this. 32.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. And thine eyes shall look and fill with longing.
So thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. You remember this time. I know how you grew up learning about this, right?
Black history, not really. I went to a predominantly white school. I was in the medical program, so what we learned about was very
They try to keep you away from that.
Yeah.
They try to keep you guys in the docile mind. They don't want our people to wake up. That's why even though you grew up in that type of school, sis, even in the schools where more of our people are in, they're trying to remove that stuff from the history books. Because there's reasons for that. They want to keep us in a lower state. Because if our people continue to think about these things, they'll end up like us, which they don't like. Teaching our people, waking up and getting out of their system. So now, back to verse 32, right? Our sons and our daughters shall be taken away. Back in slavery, if you've seen the movies before, right?
Yeah.
In slavery, what would happen? Once you go to the field, they decide to take your daughter. Can you get your daughter back? No, you can't. You have no choice. So what are you going to do? Read.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and filled with longing.
So your sons and your daughters will be given unto another people, and your eyes would look and be longing for them all the day long. Looking and longing for them. You're going to look at your daughter and just be crying your eyes out, and there's nothing that you could do. That's a curse the Most High God put upon us for a reason.
Right.
But to bring it to today, does that still happen today?
I mean, depending the way you're thinking about it, like with the way kids act or the youth acts or the younger generations and stuff, what is it,
School to prison pipeline?
Yeah. I mean, the killings and stuff, like, yeah, look, just not in the way that they were doing it back in the day.
Right, not in the way that they were doing it back in the day, but they're still a form. They've only smartened up because they know they can't just blatantly take your daughter at this point. So now they put laws in place on this land. Who runs this world? Who runs America? What nation of people run America? The white man. So the same white man that was doing it back then just found a different way to do it today.
Right.
So now
Right.
today, if
You
you
know?
get caught smacking your daughter, correcting her for actually doing something wrong, and the police see you, what do you think's gonna happen? You think they're just gonna ask you questions and let you go about your business? No. So the same thing is happening today. So verse 46. The same exact thing's happening today. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So they should be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder. The they that is the Bible is talking about are the curses. Because the curses, it's not just 32 that shows you. It starts at verse 16 all the way to 68.
Right.
They're curses that they said that we would go through. Right? So verse 46 said, them signs would be upon us for a sign and a wonder. How? If I ask you, right, hey sis, can you go down the street to CVS? How are you going to know you actually got to CVS? By what? Looking at the sign, right? Exactly. So the signs, these curses were put on us so we can see in the last days who the children of Israel is.
Right.
Which that's us, the so-called blacks and Hispanics.
Right.
Let's jump to 68. No, actually, I'm sorry. Read on, verse 47.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Read.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God
Right.
with joyfulness and with gladness of heart
Read
for
on.
the abundance of all things.
Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
So because we didn't serve him with joyfulness and gladness, because we didn't keep his commandments, now we would serve who?
Our enemies,
We would serve our enemies in what?
which the Lord shall send against thee,
Right?
in hunger.
All right, so we would serve our enemies. When we got brought to this land here, right, on slave ships, on the cargo slave ships, who brought us here? Was it our friends that brought us here? No. So what did the Bible just call the nation that brought us here, the so-called white man? What did he just call them? That's our enemies.
Right.
That is our enemies. Yeah, we have some so-called nice white friends. But don't ever get it twisted, because at the end of the day, when things get rough, they're choosing their people over you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So verse 6, finish. Keep reading.
And for hunger.
So we would serve it for hunger. If you want food, do you go to your people for food? Is it your people that you're getting food from? Do your people grow rice and beans and everything? No, the other nations do. Read.
And in thirst.
And thirst. You want water. What nation of people do you have to go to get water? You want Poland Spring, Dasani. Who do you go to? We have no choice. Read.
And in nakedness.
In nakedness, the clothes that you wear. Any clothes, do our people make them? No, we don't. Even if we own a little corner store or something like that with selling clothes, when you look at the tag, we still don't make the textiles. We still have to go to the enemy to get the textiles to make the clothing. Read.
And in want of all things.
Says King, and want of all things, everything. If you want to get your driver's license, if you want to get your marriage papers, who do you have to go to in order to get the stuff? The white man,
Right.
Our enemy. So read, finish off.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So he shall put a yoke of iron. You've seen those in a movie, right? The yokes of iron upon our necks.
Right.
Even in Google, unless they deceitfully switched it. Before, if you look on Google, you type in yokes of iron, guess the first image that comes up is a black man looking just like that with the yoke of iron.
Right.
So that was put upon our necks, right? He said, until I have destroyed thee. So you don't see us walking around with yokes of iron on our necks anymore. Because what has happened? They've destroyed our minds completely to the point that they know we've trained them well.
Right.
We can go ahead and take the yokes of iron. They're still gonna obey us.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word, his word.